The phone cut off, so I stopped off talking about, what was it? I hate how I look like I'm looking to the corner, like I'm looking at a piece of paper, and I'm really not. I wish I could show it all. See, that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, I was gonna talk about why I'm not sure if he really went to Dumat al-Jandal after Carkesia and then went back north because of the geography don't make sense. So I was gonna go ahead and name all the towns in order based on the chapter itself that he went to until he made it until at least, I'm talking about before he went to Damascus. The place that he went to before Damascus was Marj Rahit. Because I got to make a point about Dumat Jandal. Anyway, so he hit Al Qusam. Like I say, the guy Mash Ja'a, they came to an agreement and made terms and whatnot. Then he went to Tamur. Now, Tamur today is called Palmyra or something like that because it basically just means palm trees. So just like California, they got like a whole bunch of palm trees there to the point where the place would be named or nicknamed after that. So that's where he went, and I think he did fight against some people there also, and because they had resisted. So people there eventually gave in after they sheltered themselves in their force. They eventually gave in. And Khalid promised them security, etc., blah, blah, blah. They got to keep their religion because in the chapter they were saying how they became Zinnis, who would have to entertain the Muslims also. Like I say, I know what Zinni means. It means kind of like say like you go to an oasis and you got Jews there. And you take over their oasis, but you don't force them to change their religion. But they are adhering to a covenant now. That's what a Zimmi is. Basically like a non-Muslim within Muslim territory, but not just territory. I guess kind of like being in a territory with a covenant at the same time. So that's what makes you a Zimmi, because you're not of this Islamic faith. But because in the chapter they said these people had to entertain the Muslims and take care of them, I'm assuming they still had to take care of people that may become wayfarers, even though obviously, people of an Islamic persuasion wasn't abundant in this region yet. But that's what they would have to do. So that's Tamur. So when he left Tamur, he went to Query Adain. Same thing happened there, fought against the people there, and he was victorious. By the way, every place so far, Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid was victorious, according to the chapter. So after that, he went east to another place called Huwarin. When I first read about them, I thought they was talking about like parts of southwestern, based on like the shape of Syria, southwestern. The whole fucking southern portion looks southwestern, but basically southern Syria and then northwestern Jordan. That's what I thought it was, but it was just a little village. But the place that it was within, or the region, was called Sanur. So he went there and he raided the people. He raided their cattle, actually. So I guess he tried to take all their possessions and stuff. But they got assistance from people from two other towns. One was called Bushra and then another one called Balabak. So, but even though these people there in Huwarin got assisted, they still lost, according to the chapter. So after he left there, that's when he went to Marj Rahit. Now, this is fucking interesting because the chapter says that he attacked the people on Easter. So I'm looking up the Easter holiday, right? Because, I had to recheck to make sure the Gregorian calendar didn't switch until 1582. So I'm trying to find exactly what period, like what month in 634 would Easter fall on. Being that it only had been instituted for 300 years prior to that point. But anyway, found out at 634, April 24th of that year. So I'm like, wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. Something ain't really adding up there. I'm like, April 24th, 632. Now, thinking about when Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid, and I'm gonna tie this back to Dumat. Give me a second. Thinking about when when Khalid-Ibn-Al-Walid received that letter from Abu Bakr calling him to this holy war. That was between June and July of 634. Remember, it was supposed to have been the month of Rubai. So I looked it up. And I'm like, wait a minute. This occurred after the fact. All this whole, I almost said pilgrimage, but this whole conquest, as far as like all these places that I mentioned, this is following the letter that he got from Abu Bakr. So I'm like, if he went to Marj Rahit in April of 634, something ain't adding up because that's what 2-3 months before he received notification from Abu Bakr for this holy war. That's the first thing. I'm like, okay, let me look up the dates again. I looked it up. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, something else that's in error now that I got to figure out. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Now, as far as Dumat Jandil, again, I had this, I said to myself, like, okay, in that chapter and also this chapter, Abu Bakr is still alive. Yes, he dies this year, but not until August of 634.